live, I believe. We are live, I think. Let's see.
Oh, I just got the email. Japanese printmaking went live.
Is Jed going to be here?
Hi.
Okay, I'll head back to my bench. So, sir.
Okay. Cool.
So
I'll just sit down here.
Also, you might let the chat know that what you type. You normally you're the Jed Henry, but you're typing here.
Right as
me or whatever it says.
Cool.
Japanese printmaking.
Hi guys. So okay, every once in a while, if I type into the chat window, it'll appear as David Bowl, just because I'm on Dave's account.
Yeah, it comes up as Japanese printmaking.
Oh, as Japanese printmaking. Okay, cool.
Maybe I should, just for the first few minutes here, I should maybe go wider here myself.
Hi guys, good morning. Good morning here in Tokyo. It's 8 a.m. and raining. I came out to Japan and it's rain every day for a week. So who knows what I'm going to do for a week.
But that plan of sketching in the mountains?
Yeah.
Nothing. What was the idea?
Oh yeah, so I was going to go up on the Nakasendo, which is one of the 5 big arteries the big roads that ran through Japan from Kyoto to Tokyo. And I was going to go, hike on the Nakasendo and go from Magome to Tsumago, or maybe backwards that. And I don't know, we'll see what happens.
That's that stretch where they've kept the old buildings, part of the old post road.
Right, so you walk, if you guys want to Google it, Google Magome, M-A-G-O-M-E, Magome, and you can see, it's an old post town that's been preserved since the 1800s. And it looks like you're walking into, an old movie set from like Seven Samurai or something like that. It's pretty cool. So I might end up just doing it.
I've been up there with Seneca. We went one summertime, and it was hot. Hot. Yeah. So they've got these deals where you can stay in one place one night, the next place the next night. What are they? They're about 10 kilometers apart or something. Yeah. And they take your bags by a little van or something, so you don't have to carry your crap from one place to the next. You can just stroll. Is that what you were going to do? You're going to stay in one town one night?
And I'll walk it. They have trails to the mountains or something.
But now with the typhoon nearby.
So let's see. Koringami, you say it'd be nice to see something with rain in the future. Yeah, I agree. Actually, I thought maybe this is a mixed blessing, where I can just go do some rain sketching or something like that.
Can I zoom in my camera on the work then? We can chat while I work a little bit. So if I zoom in on the work, does that make more sense?
Absolutely, yeah. So Dave's just going to do his usual thing, and I'm just going to sit here and talk to you guys. Which one is the small window and which one's the large window? Oh, you made them equal size. My picture.
They're adjustable actually. Once we get here, just let me.
Yeah. Well, if I click on it, does it become the overlaid one?
If you click into here, one of them should. If you see the red.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Oh, is there any way to make it go backward?
Yeah, what do you mean? You want to change the order? That's the order in the window here. If you put your window, drag the order.
Boom. Okay. So guys, just a minute while I play with things.
Not even.
You guys will have to forgive me. I have a chest cold, so I might be coughing every once in a while here. Okay, now you guys can see the real action. What you came for.
What are you doing? You put.
We are here to see the carving.
Well, I don't think so. They're here to see you. This is the difference today. Whatever. Anyway, you're running the window there, so you're.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Quantar says, I've been enjoying the older prints from 40s and 50s and have rain falling in them. Yeah. Yes. A lot of those prints from like the 40s and 50s probably have quite a lot of
atmospheric effects, right?
Yeah, a lot of impressions to get that kind of atmospheric, bleedy, watercolory look. Mm-hmm. But I've actually been talking to Dave about attempting getting something almost kind of ish like that with some some educated corners being cut.
Oh no, the ukiyo-e heroes now, we started clean as ukiyo-e type prints, the Mario, the rickshaw cart prints, stuff like that. But in that series, we started to move away. You got the Trouble Afoot, remember? The one with the turtles looking out from that. The Trouble Afoot print. That's moving now away from ukiyo-e. It's not atmospheric, but it was overlaid to give much more depth.
Right.
And shadow, which doesn't appear in ukiyo-e.
Right.
So it's a bit of two questions. One is, what's our brand? What is the ukiyo-e heroes brand? Does it mean ukiyo-e traditional prints in visual appearance?
I think we're just married to the word, you know? It's our brand name, so we're kind of stuck with it.
So if we moved into a more Shinhanga approach, we can't call them Shinhanga heroes. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
But the point is, there's no reason we should stick to that specific artistic style. I don't know, you know.
Okay, Dave, I'm going to go down the list of comments.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, as you
Okay. Let's see here. Jed, it looks like you're the carver now. Never, ever. 5 years ago, I actually asked Dave if he would teach me how to carve, and he said he thought I didn't have the temperament for it. Which I think, in hindsight, he's totally right. Yeah, you guys will probably never see me carve. But
it might be worth mentioning at this point, you're going to be working with other people too. William is probably going to be coming on.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, so as that sunk in that I realized I would never become a carver, or at least I choose not to become a carver. It's better to work with people who are training themselves as carvers. So I've been trying to reach out to people other than Dave, because the reality is that if we want to keep this movement going for another, 5 decades or so, we need
Jed's beating around the bush. I'm 65 and he's 34, so he's got a little worried about what's happening 20 years from now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, well. And I don't claim to be the paragon of health, but I'll probably outlive you a little bit. So we need to find some young people who are also training themselves to keep things going. We want to have overlap of designers and craftsmen into the future. So anyway, yeah, William Francis, who often gets on here, he's on this Twitch stream a lot, and he's often answering questions and stuff. He's one of the people I've reached out to, and he lives in rural England, just a couple hours north of London. And he's been training himself by watching Dave's videos. So while many of you might watch Dave for maybe relaxation,
send you to sleep.
He watches it and probably gets riled up. He probably gets his blood pumping.
So everybody else watches it to go to sleep. He watches it to get a hard on. So yeah, a little bit for everybody.
Yeah. So Veracity asks Jed Sandeska. Hi, Jed Sandes, or Jed does. I'll omit the song. Let's see here. And then we got Tsubasa Akari asks, did you berate Dave when you saw he was streaming this Prince carving? I do think it's kind of funny that Dave's working on something that I designed while I'm sitting here. It's kind of, I feel like royalty. I'm excited to see this one become a card. The lines are really, really, really fine. So registration is going to be...
Yeah, hell.
So... it's going to be intense. But it's few impressions, so hopefully the paper won't grow or shrink too much.
I have no complaints. It came very much in a like the design. It's within our technical specifications, so I'm very happy. Thank you very much for cooperating with us.
Yeah. So this is funny, guys. Oh, and let me answer some questions real quick. Quite expensive, but the blocks that Dave uses are hugely expensive. Yeah. But if you take it up as a hobby, you could probably use more available wood. Honestly, Scrotum, honestly, I like to play video games every once in a while, and if I tried to take up one more artistic pursuit in my life, I would have to stop doing other things that I do to relax. So, I just don't want to go there. Trying to learn how to...
make prints?
Yeah.
Keep away from it. Just don't even get involved.
Dave says, run away.
It's not your job, just design.
Even just trying to draw well and not suck is a life pursuit. Life pursuit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so Quantar says when Dave started carving this block, he muttered something about Such fine lines. Yeah. So now we got the gist of it. It's gonna be hell. Higurashi Madness says, I started carving because of Dave's videos. Practice daily for hours. Amazing. Awesome. Amazing.
Thank you, sir.
This is, honestly, I don't know, Higurashi, this is like, that's the best thing we can hear. That's the best thing we can hear. In 10 years, it'd be so awesome if all of a sudden all this competition started popping up around the world. Because competition...
We don't know the word competition. That's not
we don't know the word competition. So you wake up in the morning and your motivation has to be from inside because, you know, there's nobody else doing this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not competition. My problem is not enough people are doing it. So the supply chain has disappeared. We want thousands more people doing this. I'm not worried about competition.
I think it'd be fun if people were in it for pride as well as self-motivation. I don't know. I just think that it would drive some people. I could use it every once in a while. Okay, let's see. Okay, Tsubasa says Jed brings out PG-13, Dave.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, just because you said it's going to be hell.
It's okay. Is that not supposed to be permitted on Twitch?
No, you say shit all the time.
I don't think of that's funny actually, because I don't think of myself as a person who swears, and yet every now and then I read the Twitch chat and it says, "Oh my God,
whoa now,
Dave did." And I'm like, what? Because I don't do that. I'm a clean, simple, whatever. But I guess I don't
know. Is Happy One asks Higurashi Madness, how much did it cost for you to start carving? Is Happy One, if you Google your first print, right, your ebook.
Oh, you told me now.
Somebody's asking how much did it cost to start carving.
But they didn't ask me. They asked the other guy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna I'm milking you for information as well.
I know this comes up all the time, and I've always just told people, don't buy any tools. If you'd like to give this a try, almost everybody has the same tools that I had in my house when you started. I just got a piece of wood ready for the firewood, ready to go in the fireplace. I had an X-Acto cutter knife. Kids level of watercolor tube prints, paper, whatever's on your desk. That's enough to give the concept a try.
Like if you just started with a soft piece of softwood
and your desktop, whatever. You don't need
carve
to
your desk
get the
at school.
Official something. And if you then, after just a couple of hours of playing and a couple of days of trying, the print you'll make will be a disaster, but it'll tell you if you like mucking with this stuff. And you haven't spent any money,
There you go, IZ Happy One.
You don't have to buy anything to get started. X-Acto knife, whatever. I did the printing with a rice spoon. Some of these lines are just, I can't even see them under the microscope.
They're so fine. Sorry. So, full disclosure.
Some of this will make it and some of it won't make it.
Full disclosure, I actually did this in Photoshop. Zoomed in like crazy. My defense is that Dave gets to work on it with these surgical binoculars he's got, whatever the heck these things are. Is that any kind of defense?
No. I know this one's Photoshop. We can see it. It's okay.
But honestly, for some of
you've got good brushes in Photoshop, and also you've been doing this for long enough. It's natural strokes.
They feel good.
So
okay, good. All right. When I'm showing softer things, when I'm not doing like an action scene showing pre-modern, battles and warriors and stuff like that, a lot of times I'll just do the design in Photoshop because I'm aiming for thin, delicate, beautiful lines anyway, which are actually quite hard to do with a brush, in my experience.
Actually, that might be a time. Lots of people here, I still get the question all the time, this is done in Photoshop, this is done in Photoshop. So it might be a good idea just to spend a minute outlining, for the UK horse prints, what is the process? How much is Photoshop and how much is brushed?
Okay.
It can't be one, it can't be the other, it can't be brushed. How do you do that?
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. Yeah, let me just read the chat real quick. Django Bun Bun, you said, I don't do carving, but I love watching people do the types of art that they're good at. Wood carving, woodworking, 3D modeling, programming, painting, etc. The funny thing about Dave, Django, is that Dave programs pretty darn competently and carves and prints. And so he's kind of this. He's a Renaissance man. He's a Taisho man. What would you call a Japanese Renaissance man?
There's no such concept.
Okay. Hi, Stracy. Welcome on. Okay, yeah. So Dave wanted me to talk about my process, and how much of what we do is digital, and how much of what we do is physical.
Yeah.
So when
excuse me, you've given me this damn coffee here, you know.
Have I really?
It's coffee. It's okay.
I spat in your mouth while you're sleeping. If you guys actually go on YouTube, at sometime you can see I did a look up. Let's see. Well, just look up Jed Henry on YouTube. I have a channel, and I don't have a lot of videos up, but I did a 2-part series about how I did a design for a buddy's full back tattoo of Wolverine versus Hulk, and because that's what he wants on his back for the rest of his life. And so anyway, I show how I do the sketching process, and I show how I do the inking process, and you can see how much is digital and how much is physical. So I do all the initial sketching directly into a computer in Photoshop, and I do that because it's so flexible. If I don't like how a line works, I can hit undo, or if I want to if I don't like a pose, I can actually kind of like move it a little bit, you know, and with the liquify tool or any number of adjustment tools. So it's really convenient. But then when it's time to get the line work that looks like ukiyo-e line work, I have to print it out, and then just like comics, I'll ink it with a separate piece of paper over a light box. I'll take a light box, put down my drawing that I printed out, put down another piece of paper, and then ink it with a ink and brush. And that it allows us to have the line work that makes it look legitimate, makes it look authentically ukiyo-e, as it were.
There's something perhaps you don't know. This idea, separating composition from actual brushing the line work. They did it that way back in the old days too. We have lots of examples of stuff left over from people like Yoshitoshi or even Hokusai, where you can see they've traced and traced and traced and put pieces together on one sheet of paper and actually cut and pasted, as in scissors and glue, copy and pasted these things together until the composition's ready. Then over top of that, a thin sheet of gambi paper, and bang, out comes a brush and do the finished line work.
Yeah.
So separating composition.
If they would have seen it, if you would have sat them down and showed them Photoshop, they would have.
5 minutes later, they'd be in there.
They would have messed their fundoshi. Yeah, that's what I think. And so actually, and this is interesting too. If you guys look up, here I'm going to put it in the search. If you look up Yoshitoshi sketch, I just put it in the chat window for you guys. If you look up Yoshitoshi sketch, you can also see sketches where he sketches in red pencil or something, and then does black ink work on top of that. And what's so funny about that is exactly how modern animators and comic book artists draw and ink their pages. Because these days you can use photography or scanning or Photoshop to subtract out the red. So your red undersketch with your red pencil just disappears in Photoshop, and only the black line remains. And I don't know how they were using that back in the day, but for some reason, Yoshitoshi was also sketching in a red pencil with black overlay, and I have no idea why or how. And I'd love to find out what their process was there, because it looks like a 21st century process.
I'm not sure if you might be mixing something else up there. When any kid goes to school here, when they're drawing, kids learn to do a, e, o, whatever, drawing characters. Once the kid's done it, the teacher comes over and with a red brush will draw what the teacher thinks is a good shape. So this is the model after the fact. So is this something like that?
No, because the undersketch looks like he's feeling he's searching for the right lines. Okay. It's really hairy, it's really messy, and then he knocks it out in black on top. I know what I'm looking at. Yeah, so it's he's obviously doing what a modern animator or comic artist would do. Okay, let's get to the chat real quick here. Control Z is a godsend. Agreed.
What's that?
Control Z.
I don't have one here. Where is
it?
It's Turn it on. Show me.
It's called wood glue and another piece of wood and a router or a router or whatever you say, Canadians. Okay. Let's see here. Tronk44 says Dave's been doing this longer than I have lived. Same here, buddy.
That gets me scared every time I hear that comment, you know. So
yeah, you only What am I saying here? You've never done this before. You've never had to face the generational divide. You hang out with 20-somethings all day now.
I did have kids, you know. I mean,
yeah, I guess so. I gotta ask you about that in a second. Okay, let's go down the chat window really quick here.
Ask me what? How to make kids? You don't know yet?
No, about what it was like to raise kids doing this for a job. But I'm gonna ask you in a second. Okay. Django Bumban asks, Dave, are you a cat person or a dog person? If you were in Korea, it would be a different question. But sorry. I love Korean food.
No, all my life we had cats as pets.
Dave's a cat person.
But I don't have a pet myself.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean that as like on a Korea slam. I'm sorry about that. I love Korea. I love Korean food.
It was a joke.
It was a bad joke. Sorry. Okay, Tsubasa Akari asks, Jed, do you have any games specifically in mind for later Ukiyo Heroes prints? Ones that you specifically want to do? Oh yes, so many. So many. So many. This winter, I want to focus a little more on anime, because so much of my stuff has been game focused. So I'd like to sit down and I want to do Samurai Champloo. I want to do... what are some other ones? I really want to do a One Punch Man one, because I've been watching that on Netflix and it's so fabulous. Lots. It's endless, honestly. It is endless. Okay. Somebody says it's quite lovely to see the interaction between the two of you, Jed and Dave. Adds depth to the work you do together. It's fun to share this with you guys, because I just feel, you guys, honestly, every day I wake up and I feel so lucky that I get to work with Dave, and I honestly think that it's a giant miracle. So I feel very lucky to be here. Hi, Dave. This is me, fanboying.
The fan thing goes both ways. You've brought an energy and a thing to our business that didn't exist before, and it's transformed our lives, for which we're very, very grateful. Absolutely. So it's a, what's the word, the biologist, symbiotic? It's not that we need you. We were okay without you, and you didn't need us. You could have found a career without us. But the combination has done something special, I think.
Sometimes I joke that I'm a leech on Dave. I'm a parasite, but we're really more like two leeches cycling each other's blood.
And that's not true. Neither of us desperately needs each other. It's just that the particular skill set we both bring really adds up to something. It's 1 + 1 = 5, or whatever number you want to make up. I don't know. So we're very happy you're here.
Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. You could always do Duke from Death Note. Oh my gosh, yes, that's on my to-do list. Duke would look so fun. I should do that this winter. Yeah. P.S. I watched Death Note on Netflix and everybody was trashing it, but I totally enjoyed it. I know everybody's mad about the whitewashing thing, but it was fun to watch.
All these things you guys talk about, I've never even heard of.
Death Note.
Whatever. What's that? Doesn't matter. I didn't get an answer.
That's okay. That's fine. Okay, so let's see here. I love that Jed and Dave bat back and forth, almost like brothers. Yeah, we've been working together for a long time. Okay. Oh, Barker R asks, Jed, do you have a favorite Western ink artist? Oh my gosh. Let me pull up my old Instagram. A lot of my favorite people are alive and kicking. I honestly, I don't know where to start.
It's lies. He's looking for Google samples because he doesn't understand the question.
I can't remember the name. There's a guy named Nicholas Nemiri that I follow, and he's either French or Russian, or he might be Russian-French or something like that. And he lives in Beijing. Nicholas Nemiri.
Oh, you showed me this one day.
And sometimes he does some kind of like kitty porny stuff things every once in a while. I mean, I don't know what else to call it, but otherwise his stuff's really amazing. And his sense of composition and line is fabulous. Nicholas Nemiri. I love his stuff's really loose. It's mostly ink and stuff, and it's really nice. So I like him a lot. Who else do I follow that I really like? I don't know, I can't go there. Get on the old Instagrams and just look around. There's so many amazing artists out there. If you're an artist, you'll want to cry with jealousy. Also, what about One Piece? All the 800 episodes? Yeah, so Wanpun Mon, that's my problem with One Piece is like, where do I start with One Piece? Like, with Samurai Champloo, I mean, it's what, one season, isn't it? And like every episode's the same. They're like hungry, and then they fall in with some gangsters, and then they somehow get out of it, right? So I know what to show with the Samurai Champloo, but then One Piece is like, I mean, it's like trying to sum up a novel, with one image. Okay, let's see. Tsubasa Akari says, "Please, I will sell my soul."
For
Franklin Booth. Okay, Barker. I'll look out. I'll look out for Franklin Booth. I'll check him out. Ergo Proxy. I don't even know what Ergo Proxy is. He got Higurashi-san. I'll have to look that up. I'm a little bit behind on my anime too. Anime is like so fast fashion because like every quarter there's like this new hot anime coming out and I just can't keep up with them all. It's amazing. I don't know how people do it. I really don't know how people do it. It's yeah. Let's see. Okay. Tronk44, personally, I don't get live adaptations of anime when I watch anime. It's to watch something different, something that can't exist in a satisfying way in a normal movie. Yeah, I agree, Tronk44. I agree. I think sometimes like the storytelling methods are tailored and specified to the medium to the point where a crossover starts to feel bizarre, right? I just went and saw the new what is it? The new Blade Runner movie, which was amazing. It was mind-blowingly good. And I was really excited about it, so I got home and I was just Googling it, and there was a Blade Runner anime that was made. You can find it on YouTube. That was made by the director of Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. I forget his name. And it was just interesting. It was fine. It was good. But to see an entire aesthetic that's then been relocated into a different medium, sometimes it's a little bit jarring, says the guy who turns video games into ukiyo-e.
I was waiting for a moment to pop in there. So.
Dead Zealot, Jet, have you seen Afro Samurai? It's a bit older, but it's glorious. Yeah, I need to look into that one too. What streaming platform is that on that I could find it readily? Mr. Zealot? Yeah, I think it is Watanabe something, Jazz Prophet. Yeah, okay, so I wanted to ask Dave this question. So, like, when you were growing up, Dave raised 2 daughters in Japan by himself for about 10 years, right? And then they grew up and went and lived with their mother in Canada when they hit their teens, right?
So they were, when their mother left, they were, I forget, 7 and 5. One was still preschool, and one had just started school.
So you had them for up until their adolescence. Okay, so my question is, at this point, you were making a living as a woodblock maker with 2 kids in a country where you technically don't necessarily, belong. I mean, like, it was an uphill battle is what I mean there. Or was it? Okay, I'm like putting words in your mouth. How was it? Just talk. I'm going to shut up.
I think perhaps there's a back reason why you're asking me this, because there's this question of work-life balance. You got to do your job and you got to take care of kids and stuff like this. I've been through that and done that, and you're now right in the thick of the middle of this.
Right.
You have more kids than I have. You have 3, maybe more, whatever. I had 2. So for me, actually, there was a little bit of an easy aspect to this, because a man living with 2 young girls, it's really easy to sort out a situation where you can arrange work and jobs and house and stuff like that, And the 3 of us, it wasn't one guy taking care of 2 kids, it was 3 of us living there together, sharing the work. Their work involved going to school and doing that part, doing some bits of housework, and my work involved making woodblock prints. So it wasn't the same situation as what you have, where you are actually a caretaker,
Right.
You have to do the job of taking care of some very young kids.
Right.
But also, you have to go and make a living.
Right.
And in my case, it was just so easy to blend those two things together. And in your case, it seems to be very, very difficult to blend those things together, you know.
Yeah, I do feel like it's an either-or situation. It's never like it's the same thing.
So, I'm not sure how much I could talk to you in public on Skype, because there are things I would like to talk to you about, you know, I see a window of your world through the conversations we have on Skype every day. And I can say one thing without bothering your personal privacy. I see a guy there who's sitting in his office trying to draw something with a daughter at each side, and the little guy tugging at your knee saying, "Daddy, let's go and play, you know." And I didn't have this problem because my kids were old enough to go to school, and I had that window of opportunity between like 8 o'clock in the morning and 2 o'clock in the afternoon where they weren't there. And that was work time, and everything else became family time. And I didn't ever actually have to try and mix the two. And you're in a situation where the two are stacked right on top of each other.
Yeah, because I work at home, and my youngest is 2.
Yeah, and they're still there.
And my second youngest is 5, but she gets home from kindergarten at noon. So I have but in the morning I'm sending them off to school. My wife is pregnant with number 4. I don't know. Don't ask me.
This is why I Skype Jet. It turns out it's 2 o'clock in the morning, his time, and it's the only time he's got to try and do work. So whatever. We shouldn't be talking too much about this in public. From my more experienced point of view, I would really like to see if you could, in your life, arrange somehow where you had a private working time and then you had a family time. You know, maybe Daddy went upstairs to the office and he couldn't go there, or you've rented an office down the street somewhere.
So I can be a little more reliable.
Yeah, whatever. And your wife says, "Hi, goodbye, dear. Go to work and come back at 2 o'clock, whatever, that kind of stuff. You know."
Yeah.
I'm not sure if we should be talking about this.
Yeah. Okay.
There's 100 people watching. I don't know.
No, that's fine. It's fine. This is like what we do, right? Yeah. Well, for the most part, like my wife is really good about. She's like blocking for me. It's like football. Like she blocks for me, guarding me while I'm trying to get work done. But lately things have been a little rough with health stuff. So that's why I've been a little bit distracted. October has just been a giant wasteland of no work getting done the whole month. So it's been a little rough. But yeah. Okay, let's see what the chat window's saying. Okay, first thought on Tsunami. I know it would be on Kiss Anime, but I don't want to endorse that site because it is shady site by nature. Cool. Thank you, Dead Zealot, for the warning there. People are saying they don't usually use Kiss because it looks like it's kind of a piracy sort of thing. Or is it okay? Or is it a security issue? Question mark. Okay. Juan Palmon says, I've managed to catch up with One Piece anime, and in my opinion, I'd say it's mainly focused on the thrill of going on an adventure and making friends, so if I focused on that, it'd be a good start. Okay, thanks, Juan Palmon. That is a good idea. Adventure, friends. Yeah, boil it down. Tsubasa, do you hear a jackhammer over here? There is some construction going on.
Yes, yesterday it was jackhammers. It's the restaurant has gone bankrupt behind us, and there's nothing.
Wait, which one? The French one?
The French bistro is gone.
What? I thought it was like famous.
It's bankrupt. It's gone, or they ran away one night, and that's it.
Eh.
Yesterday it was jackhammers. They took out the concrete.
The one with the sauces that grosses you out.
No. That's Yoshikami. This is next door, the little French bistro.
Okay.
Probably wasn't even here. There was an empty piece of land last time you were here.
Oh, really?
So, whatever, long story.
So somebody built it and then it's since Tsubureta.
So, it's gone.
Eh.
And they're already tearing it down.
Crazy town.
Yeah, crazy town.
It's amazing that you survived here for 3 years.
It is indeed. Well, amazing. Not so amazing, but okay. Right. So, yeah,
commendable.
It's an accomplishment. Yes, absolutely. It's an accomplishment. So.
N2KS, Dave, how often do you get splinters?
Don't. People keep asking me this all the time. I don't get splinters. I'm a professional.
Is there even a danger of it?
No. Nothing.
Because you're carving smooth wood with smooth tools.
Whatever. So splinters are not an issue.
Yeah, I think you encounter splinters a lot with really unfinished wood, but Dave gets wood in a very smooth finished state, and he only does smooth finished stuff with it. He's not cracking it or breaking it, and it's not like he's handling like lumber, as it were. It's very specifically tailored to his needs, and it's already very finished and prepared. Oh, there we go. Two bearded white dudes. Hi.
Yeah. We're looking the wrong way, I think. If I look towards you...
Wait, hold on. Can I move this?
It's up to you. Slide them around as you wish.
Oh, crap.
What have you done?
I moved it over there, and then you moved over there. And now he's
Whatever.
back.
What are you talking about? I'll sit still.
Okay, there. There we go. You're done carving?
Well, I just thought there's lots of conversation things going on, so I know,
Are we distracting you?
No, there's a couple things I did want to talk about. Jetson. While you're here, we have to finally nail down next year's subscription series.
Yes.
We've been nibbling around the edges of it and trying this and trying that and whatever. I don't want to have too much intense business negotiation on a live TV stream.
That's fine. I think that's what this is meta content. That's what people want.
Next year's subscription series. It's due to start carving on October the 1st.
Oh, wait, guys, does it help if I do this?
No, the wrong way around? Is the camera the wrong way? It's the wrong way, isn't it?
No, it's funny because on the screen it looks like we're talking.
Well, can you move? Well, what if can you slide it backwards? This way? Can you slide it?
No, it's fine. You're actually looking at me.
Soka.
I'm just that magnanimous. All right, let's see what people are saying here. Dave's talking to a floating box technology. I swear. Anyway, okay, just looking at anime name online English stuff. Okay, cool. Lol. All right. So Dave wants to talk about stuff. Let's see.
No, I want to talk a little bit about next year's subscription series. Everybody's been asking what's it going to be. You've sent me a couple of images.
Right.
It's an interesting concept. I know.
Okay, you guys, should we just kind of tell people what we're...
Well, what we've done this year, the yokai series, we pushed it hard to make 2 prints in 1 year, two prints each month, and to keep the price down. And it worked, actually. The price for each print was $20, but a subscription for $40. We've made it work here. The
margins were a little tighter this year, though, right?
But whatever, we've made it work. The printers have done their work. We're happy with what we've got. You've got your royalty, everything else. But because it went to $40, a lot of people who would have liked to have subscribed weren't able. Because $40 is no big deal, but every month for a year, it adds up a lot.
Right.
So one of the goals in our conversation for next year was that let's get the price back down to a level where a lot more people can jump in and participate. And so not a pair of prints, 1 print, obviously, per month. And that in interest of getting the price even pushed down for a lot more people I asked you if you can come up with an idea that was a much more simplified drawing and yet still had interesting content and that yet was a bit more, what's the word, simplified, that we could cut and print.
It would require less impressions, right?
So exactly.
Less impressions.
Trying to keep my manufacturing costs down, and yet still be a beautiful hand-carved wood block print, carved like this.
Is Happy One says, I think $40 for 2 prints is pretty damn cheap.
It's a fabulous deal.
It is a fabulous deal.
It left a lot of people out of touch, out of possibility because they can't afford $40 a month.
Well, we have to be sensitive to the fact that a lot of our customers are young people.
Exactly.
Who are getting careers down, getting cash flow down, figuring it out, which is... We try to be sensitive.
I'm not sad we did that. It was very successful, and we're still going to be selling it for years to come. But for next year, we've got to put something a bit different on the table. So anyway, speaking to the people in the chat now, Jed and I were bashing this around for the past little while. I asked him if he could come up with an idea that was simplified, but not simple, not childish, whatever, but that had good. And then the second point was what's the theme going to be? We've done ukiyo-e heroes this, we've done ukiyo-e heroes that. This last year for yokai, we didn't do heroes at all. Jed did originals.
Right.
We took the Kyosai originals from 150 years ago and Jed's new originals. So for this year, do we come back to heroes? And Jed had an interesting idea he threw at me. Let's go to the world of...
Yeah, so, okay, well, yeah. Well, I'm going to backtrack a little bit more.
Okay.
You gave me a really nice segue, and then I just threw it in the trash.
Sorry. Go for it.
So, I'd say 5 years ago when we first started a subscription series, we did one called Chibi Heroes, which we did in a senshafura size, right? Which is basically, it was about the size of a Sunday comic. It was about, I'd say, 8 inches by 2.5 inches.
Yeah, like a newspaper comic. Yeah,
a newspaper comic. And when I saw that Dave had been selling these in his... online he'd been making them for a while, and when we saw
not
that
heroes related ones.
You're right, but they were like tourist related.
Yeah.
So when I saw that
format,
I instantly thought comics. So if you guys are familiar, or if you Google what was it called again? Chibi Heroes. I think if you just Google Chibi Heroes.
Well, Chibi Heroes would block. Otherwise, you get other people are using the names.
Chibi manga. But if you Google Chibi Heroes would block, you can see the series that we made, and it was comic representations of video game characters in a horizontal kind of a narrative format, right?
And they were funny.
Yeah, they were funny.
They were gags. They were funny. If you knew the
what can I say?
Oh, yeah.
I'm funny.
I didn't think they were funny, but everybody else thought they were.
All right. This is something I deal with, guys. I send Dave a drawing. I'm like, Dave, this is brilliant, and Dave's like, I don't get it. This is ugly.
I just said I don't get the joke. That's all. Whatever.
And then I pout. I pout hard, and then Dave's like, quit pouting, Jed. Because I'm a pouter. I get that from my dad. My dad's a pouter. Love you, Dad. Okay, so we decided to go back to that comic
concept. Yes,
the comic concept.
Having fun and being funny.
The downside with the hero or the Chibi Heroes one was that there was no text, and so it was all slapstick situations. So for this new one, I thought, well, let's do comedy, but let's do it with our new size here. Actually, this is about the same size, right? So, our subscription series have recently been about this size. So from about here to here.
Grab that. Maybe this one there.
Okay, yeah. So about this size is more or less what our subscription series have become. Instead of long comic strips, which compositionally are pretty limiting, we've been working instead with a portrait mode rectangle. So I thought, okay, we want to do comedy, and we're working recently with a portrait mode rectangle composition size. So my first thought was those single panel comics from like the 80s and the 90s, like if you guys are familiar with like The Far Side, or I mean, not to try to not to try to put ourselves in the same wheelhouse.
I'm trying to put ourselves. I want comics as funny as The Far Side, but made as beautiful woodblock prints.
Our best will be as good as his worst. I think.
Okay. Good. Wonderful goal to strive for. Okay.
Yeah.
This audience may not even know what you're referring to. Gary Larson, The Far Side, iconic.
Well, no, people know The Far Side.
Okay, whatever.
I think.
Anyway, we sort of leaked it. What we're thinking of, what Jed and I are thinking of, is can Jed come up with a good, strong gag? So
what we were thinking is, I want to do 12 comics in one a month, and that's easy, right? You tell any professional comic artist come up with 12 ideas a year.
But when you say comic, you're not talking about a magazine. We're talking about a picture, an image, a single, a cartoon, whatever.
Yeah. So it's a single panel comic with just one image. So here's the how do I bring this up? New series 1.
Yeah. Just open the eye there.
So there you go. So here's a sample of what we're thinking is comics living inside, specifically inside the world of JRPGs.
But not any specific game, but the general idea.
Right, because JRPGs over the decades they're notorious for not updating with the times.
There are tropes.
Yeah, there are tropes that have been continuing since the late 80s. And so what we were thinking about is making a bunch of comics about what it's like to live in a JRPG.
The Far Side of living in a JRPG.
So what you'll get then is, our thought is, it's a print that's about, 5 by 7
around there,
inches. Yeah. So whatever that is in centimeters.
It's 16 by 13.
16 by 13 centimeters. So about the size of a big photograph, right? Yeah. Anyway, or a very large cell phone. And each one will have a caption at the bottom like this. So that's what we were thinking. Yeah, so this is what we have.
And a very reasonable price.
Yeah, at a very reasonable price. So what you guys see here, this is one of the things that we were trying to go for. If you guys look at comedy filmmaking, I might be getting too cerebral with this, but if you look at comedy film, a lot of time comedy movies are shot with the very center camera angle, no fancy camera angles. You just put two people on a screen, from the chest up, or from the knees up or the waist up, and let them goof around. So it's very simple, right? That's what comedy demands, simplicity and directness. And so for this also, I think it would be applicable because we don't need a lot of different colors or impressions or really fancy backgrounds or any of that. It would actually distract from the joke. So comedy is a really good way for Dave to produce something
clean and simple and
beautiful, economically, but with high impact still.
So, like the Chibi Heroes hat. That's what Chibi Heroes had. Woodblock, raw beauty, plus a funny idea.
Somebody says, I look away for a second and Dave turns into a sword. Don't you guys think he's a little small? Okay, so that's our that was what I sent Dave as like a mock-up for a potential pitch. I pitched it to him, and he liked it. And then this next one you're going to see. Actually, I was talking about my process, right? So I sketch everything digitally first because of how flexible it is, and then I'll go in and I'll make it ink later. This first one you're seeing has been inked. This is what the actual line work will look like when we're done. And I'm going for kind of a loose, goofy style. This second one you're seeing is just sketches. So it's digital, and it isn't what the actual final image will look like. But it's just a sketch.
It's what it will look like, but it's not what it will be.
Yeah, the actual line work will be different. So we'll let everybody read that. So yeah, we just wanted to comment on. Everybody's laughing. We're getting a lot of laughs. So we wanted to comment on all these JRPG tropes that you see, and especially this one. This one always cracked me up because these women in these ridiculous metal bikinis with like spikes all over them and stuff, right? Okay, Juan Paul says, haha, female armor in games is a joke. It is a joke. It's lingerie. It's so stupid.
So let's have some fun with it. Okay, there's one more thing about that we haven't actually thought about yet. We need a name for this series.
Oh, yeah, we could crowdsource this.
Whatever, right, we're here. We need a name for this series.
This is great. This is good. People are really liking this one, the armor one. Thanks, guys. This is nice because we're kind of like closet testing this with you guys before we put it online to the mass public. It's good to know we're on course for something that might be good.
Yeah, but what about the name?
Okay, yeah. So, okay, we get XJer says RPG Heroes. So if you guys have any ideas for a potential comic series, RPG Heroes actually kind of works.
But
okay, guys, Google search. So if you guys have an idea,
this morning I was saying, just for example, suppose it was going to be called Jed Comic. I go there. There's 65 guys who are called Jed with a website called Jed Comic. It doesn't,
Oh really?
Yeah,
Crap.
Not 65, but there's a bunch of them. It's jedcomic.com. It exists.
We need it. We need a hitman.
No, we need an original idea. That's how it works.
Oh right. Capitalism.
Oh right.
Okay, so. Okay, we got vote for RPG tropes.
Google it. Whatever. Have them, so.
Crowdsourcing, Google Army.
And all these ideas.
If anybody pitches an idea, let's look it up and try to find something
that hasn't been beaten to death already.
Thomas One Eye says, is the data statistically significant though? Thomas, do you mean like what data is what data statistically? MMO Heroes? Oh, that's pretty good. Wrinkle, that's a pretty good one. MMO, yeah, massively multiplayer online.
But is that the genre you're targeting? Not
it's a lot of MMOs took the JRPG tropes because they're very. It's all data driven,
I get you, but
and data driven stuff's really easy to. It's the low bandwidth, right? So MMOs run on a lot of data driven junk. MMO Heroes is a funny one. That's good. MMO Shenanigans. Keeping MMO in there might be good, or RPG, MMO, cool. We're getting good. This is good though. People like the content, Dave. So that's good. I'm a little bit relieved.
Except remember, you're getting filtered. People who have nice comments to say happy to do that. On our channels, people who have not so nice comments don't generally put them in. So
what's so funny though is that for some reason Dave and I, a lot of times attract few cruel comments.
I mean, not like we want to start that.
Right. Yeah. Right. We don't get a lot of cruelty, which is good.
People are nice to us.
I'm kind of a baby. I have thin skin, so.
And the internet in general is so nice to us, and I'm not quite sure still why that is.
Right. We don't get trolled very hard, which is interesting.
Even when I started Twitch like 2 months ago, people said, "Oh my God, a channel that has no moderators, Dave, stand by.
It's toxic. You'll get eaten alive. Blah blah blah."
And it hasn't happened.
Cheers to you guys for being a very civil and wonderful group of people. Thank you. We have proven the internet wrong.
Don't know what to say. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Trunk44 said RPG boys and girls into club.
Trump? What?
Trunk.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, Trump's on. Trump's on.
Said what?
Okay, Tronk44 says RPG boys and girls in the club. But I do love with the I don't know face. But RPG club is a funny idea actually. RPG club. something that just feels a little bit like goofy. It doesn't necessarily like literally translate to hero problems. We got hero problems. That's funny.
That might be something interesting. So
this is good. Rick roll players. Okay, here we go.
Problem heroes or hero problems?
Hero problems. Hero problems.
Yeah, or are they really problem heroes? I mean, you see where you can go with it.
Okay, let's see here. JRP jokes. To be honest, you can ditch dibs at the bottom. The joke is complete enough. Okay, so somebody, Supercom2 says ditch dibs.
No, I see the point.
Good call.
Yeah.
Thank you, Supercom.
Whatever. There are people who don't always get things quite as easily as some people get them.
I'm one of them. I'm a slow person. The Jazz Prophet says, we don't control very hard. Comment. If you try to control the internet will control you. The internet will resist hard. It's true. It's true. The far PG side. Oh my gosh.
That's it. That's got to be it. Who is that? Who is that? Give that man a chocolate egg.
It is the last known God. The last known God reigns supreme.
I tell you, we've got to do that. We've got to give him a free subscription.
Okay.
Okay, whatever.
We're gonna put it on the pot to simmer.
Oh my God, that's got to be it. I don't know if we're gonna get sued or whatever, but
the far PG side.
Such a good name. I can't believe it.
Kicksmojo says a little close to Gary Larson's IP ?
Whatever.
I think we can get away with it.
We live on that.
The problem is that sets up an expectation.
That sets up a standard. So look at this.
Dave
Look at this. I'm so happy.
Wait, hold on. You guys missed it. Dave was... Do it again. Do the pose you were doing. Dave goes, yeah, you got a standard now, yeah.
So.
Gotta hold me to a standard.
Whatever. Give that man a free subscription. Absolutely. If we use this, you're in, man. Number one. Then you got to start figuring out how to put cows into it.
Cows and aliens and fat Americans.
Beehive hairdos.
The far PG side. Okay, we'll think about it. We'll put it on the... We'll put it into the thinking machine.
We'll ask our lawyers.
What lawyers?
Shh.
Crap. No. We have surprise lawyers. We have attack lawyers.
That's great.
Okay, cool.
Right, we're okay. What time is it? There's a couple things I want to get to.
It's 8:53.2.
Okay. Tell you what I want to do. I want to rearrange the cameras a sec. Excuse me a second.
Dave's gonna rearrange.
Are those comics gone?
I turned them off. Somebody says arts and Warcrafts. That's funny too. That's good.
Okay, sorry for the wobbling around, people. I need to just get this camera set up here.
Oh my gosh, it's two of me. You guys have a double orthographic view of me.
You're going to take this
You guys could scan me and 3D print me.
All right, and we're going to change over here. I'm going to take the computer. Hang on a second. We're going to switch roles here. Pass me the laptop, please, sir.
Uh-oh.
Excuse for the wobbling, people. Excuse me just a minute. We're coming back. Put that out of the way somewhere. We don't need it this morning. Oops, sorry, wrong one. Sorry about that.
You guys, I have to comment on how amazingly Dave manages his physical space. Tokyo is semi. It is narrow. There's not a lot of space in anywhere in this whole country, especially this city. And Dave uses his space like a pro. I'm blown away.
All right, there we go. Here we have Jared.
Okay, I'm on.
You're on. Just so in other words, don't even face that way. Just turn your face. Yeah, bingo. Hi. Okay, a couple of things. The reason I've switched around here for a minute is because let me get this crap out of the way. There we go. Okay, a couple of things I want to show Jed. Jed has been, he sends us designs, we make them, and he sits at the other end till the finished print gets there. But it's not common for him to be able to see some of the stage things. We've received the blog. You guys have seen it for the trial of strength.
Yeah.
We're making the color box. There's the actual block itself.
Yeah.
This is carved by, the new young guy who's working for us, this young Chinese boy who is already blowing me out of the water. Chon-san. He's blowing me out of the water already, and he's like only he's 29 or 31 or something. He's younger than you.
I haven't met Chon-san yet.
Well, maybe while you're here, we should get him over here for a visit, because he respects what you're doing and stuff. And
I would love to meet. I want to meet Chon-san.
And this is the other, not to denigrate already what he's doing, but this is the blog. Maybe this is the in the newest Kickstarter campaign we put some stuff up. That's the new boss fights one. This is the Serpent Strikes block, and this is not Chon-san. This is Kawasaki-san, the young girl who is working for us now.
Right, she lives
down in Kobe. And I don't know if you get what's happening here. 5 years ago it was just me, and now we've got 4 carvers here doing this stuff. It's me, Chon-san, Kawasaki-san, and look at the work. Look at the back side of that thing.
You guys, let me just tell you how I think it's ridiculous that I'm a guy who sits in his basement and draws stuff and sends it to Japan, and there are 4 carvers making a living at this.
Yeah, I mean, Chon-san's not making a living at it, but he is good enough now, and if we can feed him enough work, he will be making a living at it.
So I need to be drawing more.
I need to be publishing more, yes, absolutely.
But we need more printers. Then we need more paper.
Yep. Let's go. So,
I mean, you guys have seen this under the microscope for weeks now, or all these. Oh, but they didn't really get to see this under the microscope, did they?
No, he didn't carve it.
It just
here.
showed
I did
up.
The color separations. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm gonna bring this in here so people can see it, because
you can see what they're seeing here.
Mm-hmm. So, guys, for scale, here's my finger, and then here's some of the level of detail that we're seeing here, like super crazy thin carving. Less than millimeters, half a millimeter.
Oh, whatever. And the millimeter's not even close. Of course.
It's amazing. And you get into it's upside down.
Whatever.
Sorry. So you get into Link's face here. It's really, really detailed. There's my finger, and I have small hands. I have itty bitty hands. So Dave's got big old manly hands. Come here, Dave. Give me your manly hands for scale.
I'm a small scale. Nothing.
Okay, so check this out. That's amazing. Really amazing. Look at that. These hands are great. Oh.
Actually, I like this one better, design-wise. I like this. This is the Oh, look. It's just more classic. This is more, look. This is your classic Japanese Yoshitoshi, your whatever.
Might I publicly note?
Yeah, no, go ahead. What I'm pushing you to do. I know.
Dave is the one who pushed me to expand my horizons and do these ones. The heroes prints, or the boss. The boss fights prints are the ones. Dave was like, Jed, let's try something new.
I like this design.
Oh, okay. Can you? Okay, there you go.
Yeah, you're there.
Yeah, look at that detail. It's nuts. Again, for scale, there's my hand. Solid snake. And then up here in the corner is where the 2 guys are going to be. The 2 guards looking for him. But because it's printed in gray, because they're in the distance, we want to show some atmospheric perspective. So we want to print their lines in gray. So they actually carved it on the backside. And so everything that's going to have gray lines is on a different key block. So that the printer doesn't have to manage thick dark black for one part of the block and light gray for the other. It's separated. And so those are the 2 guards. And again, for scale, this is getting really nuts. If you can get in here and look at the mustache on this guy is incredibly finely carved, Dave.
I'm so happy she can do this. So.
Is it?
It's right. You're good to go. No problem.
It's really nuts. Oops, I'm going the wrong way. Oops. Anyway.
This is now nearly finished. She is within days now of finishing the color blocks. So what she's been doing this year's subscription series, the yokai blocks. And then in between those, she's been working on this Serpent Strikes image.
I can't believe the skill. Chon-san as like a Shinji, like a new guy.
Both of these people, it's because of you, I mean, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I'm happy, I'm working on myself, I'm okay, I'm not bankrupt, I don't need desperately saving. But we had tried to expand the workshop by hiring people, and it wasn't working so well because the stuff I was getting them to make wasn't really selling so well. And it had taken enough time away from my own work that my own subscription series was staggering a bit. So I decided to stop, to quit, to let the people go and just go back to working by myself. It wasn't a failure, but it was a failure of a specific project.
There was only one day doing 2 jobs.
Whatever, yeah. So this guy comes along with the idea for the T-shirt that you're showing us there, the rickshaw cart print. Bingo. And it went well, and here we are, and all this stuff, like the fact that we now have 4 people. Kawasaki-san, the girl who had carving the snurp print for us, had quit the printmaking business, sold her tools, and gone out of it.
How did she get tools again? Did you send her some?
No, she went out and bought some. You can still get stuff. Tools are not so bad because knives and stuff are being made all over Japan. Okay. It's not just printmaking, carpenters need tools and stuff. So there's knives all over. But she came back because of Jed. Chon-san is doing it. He's now got work because you've made work available for us, It's no joke. Jed talks about it all the time. He has put these people back to work.
No pressure.
I mean, I'm the actual employer. I put the paychecks out, but you're the employer in the sense of you're the one who's created the. Oh, that reminds me. You're creating. You asked me a while back to pick up some brushes for you.
Oh, so God.
We talked about the analog, digital, blah 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 blah.
I gotta have good brushes though. If I don't have good brushes,
you can't buy those over in Provo.
I know. There's a university there where they sell some calligraphy brushes, but they're not great.
They probably look like this, right? Jed asked me to get some brushes, so we went out and whatever. What's a brush? A brush is a brush is a brush.
There's a huge difference. I don't even know why or how.
So I bought the first package of brushes. We just got some in, and they came in. He's gonna punch me because he thinks this is what we got from. This is what's typical, right? Chinese calligraphy brushes.
Not to bash on China. I've got some excellent Chinese brushes.
That's where it was developed.
Right. You just have to pay for good. If you see a Chinese brush that costs $3, you're going to get a $3 brush. If you you need to get a. Oh, these are horrible.
so this is what we started getting. We thought, whatever. And then
I can't even use these.
Relax. So.
Sorry, I have a cough.
We got out on Yahoo auctions, and he had a specific brand name.
Look at this. So this is how these are terrible brushes. So like instead of tapering down with single brushes, these things actually got like a haircut. So that all the brushes or all the bristles were the same length, and then they actually cut them in like you would be tapering in a man's haircut.
Yeah.
So I hate this kind of brush. I don't even know what they're good for. I hate these things.
So this is not what we got. So we did prepare a couple of other things for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to take these, Jed? Really?
No. It's Christmas in October. All right, let's see this. Oh, these are good.
Now, this is a mix. There are going to be things you say, oh my God, what's this? And I think, hopefully, there are some things in there.
This is a brand new one. I think I might actually already own some brushes of this brand.
We can pack this, so you take off the plastic if you want, doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah, look at this. This is no joke.
This
is a solid brush. How much was this? How much was that whole thing at auction?
I don't remember, but it's like a couple of bucks. So money's not involved. If we found something here you can use. So some of them haven't been used.
This is a brand new brush, but it's very old. It says it was $2.50 on it, 250 yen.
250 years ago.
Right, but it looks like it's from the 70s or 60s.
On Yahoo auction, people are just dumping stuff they found in their house. Their grandfather dies, they empty the drawers, put it on Yahoo auctions, and away it goes. And it's a mix of junk and treasures. And because there's so much of this stuff in houses all over Japan these days, there's no value in this. So we got this literally for a song, and I thought there might be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 in here, whatever.
This is amazing. Look at this. The old faded brush, guys. Look at this. So you see how waterlogged and faded this label is. It makes you think it's probably 70s, 60s. I don't know.
I know nothing about this.
I don't know. But it comes with the plastic thing on here. So they were using plastic at the time. It's actually identical to what they're using these days. So it could even be from the 80s.
If they're in the shop, they're recommending different places in Tokyo. We can, of course, still buy brushes. A few months ago, Jed ordered some through the shop. No, from Kyoto or whatever.
Yeah.
So there are places to buy brushes. They are sometimes good, sometimes not so good because they're new. And they're very, very, very expensive. The good ones.
Well, it's crazy. This one was 250 yen back in the deal, but now this would sell for 1250 now.
Anyway, when this thing arrived, I don't know, the kid said something in the auction package. It made me think. He said something. Do you want some more? Whatever. I'm like, what have you got? Whatever. So off auction, we asked him to send over some other stuff that he had thought.
Uranai.
Whatever. No idea.
These are good brushes.
Yeah.
Some of them are pretty haggard, but these brand new ones are world class. These are good.
I think there's some usable stuff in there.
Yeah.
I'm not an artist, but we do.
No, they're great.
About calligraphy. Anyway, the same guy who had these.
Yeah.
Sent over this. Now these are not the same type, but no idea what.
I know what I'm feeling here.
You can. Too bad he wasn't going to be here at Christmas time, so we had no choice but to get these ready now. So.
Dave Ball, the huge participant in Christmas.
I don't want to get into that one.
The sentimental.
How much hypocrisy, whatever, you know.
Okay.
So
how much was this?
I did basically nothing. So just whatever.
This is a $50 brush. This is a $50 brush. These are awesome.
So this is awesome. We got this just awesome. You know,
this is
so. Whatever. Useful. I don't know. What I'm.
Are these for me?
Yes, for you. There's a side motivation here. Can I borrow these for a minute?
Yes.
These new prints Jed's been doing for us. You saw the New Year card. They're getting smaller and smaller. Every year goes by, they're getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. We're going to try and get him to move in a different direction.
You want like 4 foot?
Whatever.
Well, actually, in Kyoto, there's that Western dude who does the 4 foot by 5
whatever,
foot.
and Adam here. I mean, this is something you've been nibbling about for long. Jed designs woodblock prints for us, but he also draws with a brush. It's been my opinion, and we've talked about this with him for years and years and years. He should do original work, get big canvases, get his brush out, draw stuff, and do gallery work, whatever. You know, it's along how you want to run your life and your career. Business. But that's something that's still out there for you to taste and nibble at and try at, over and above designing for woodblock prints. You know.
Yeah.
And those things, instead of selling for $25 each, can sell for, you start adding zeros, you know.
Yeah, at that point,
Not
I don't
to confuse your life, whatever.
Yeah. So I work at home in a basement, and there are kids at home, and I just want to, I would have to get a separate studio. Mataka. Wow.
This is the intermediate line.
Yeah. And he was like, I got more. Do you want it?
So these three packages of brushes from the same boy on Yahoo Auctions. There's the delicate ones, which are the ones really most suited for what Jed is doing. You know?
Then there are these ones that remind me that I have aspirations to do giant crab someday.
And then these are the intermediate ones. So they're probably not going to be so useful for him in his daily work, but they are fine, very, very fine.
I am set for brushes nice. Each one of these is $20. Each one of these brushes. This is $200, $300, $400 worth of good brushes.
And these have been taken care of, this particular group.
I can tell.
The Chinese ones, these were just junk left to dry.
These ones are taken very good care of. Somebody washed their brushes very thoroughly.
This is all one person's workshop. So it's probably an elderly guy who was a calligraphy, not a professional calligrapher, but a guy who did calligraphy all his life. And his children have now just dumped this stuff on Yahoo Auction.
When I see stuff like this, I regret that I don't live in Japan. I mean, I live in the United States. I do Japanese art, but I live in the United States, so I don't have access to stuff like this. And so your accessing this on my behalf is a huge blessing. We didn't actually think of it.
I mean, last year you asked us, you had to specifically go to Kyoto and get number B74 or 59 or whatever it was, so we did it. But my God, the bill was staggering, you know.
Right, it's $300 for like maybe a handful of brushes, right?
Yeah.
I'm pretty set with this. This is amazing. These ones here are exactly what I need and what I work with. This one never got washed. Look at this. So I know how this goes. You get distracted. Somebody calls you for dinner, or
tell me about it.
Says, there's somebody at the door. Company comes over.
If you want to make this a bit more romantic, that's the last brush he used before he passed away, and there we are.
Who knows?
It, that's when he wrote his last.
So sentimental. When you croak, I'm going to tell 100 different people, that's the last thing Dave touched, and then I'm going to make a ton of money off it.
Somebody else going to come and make a video about me, like I did
This is the
Ito
last.
Sans. You know, I've got Ito Sans. Literally, I've got the Ito Sans last knife. We made a video about it. 500,000 people have watched it.
I know. So you just tell 20 different people the same story.
Yeah.
But yeah, this brush is totally ruined because
he picks out the bad ones. Yeah, right.
I'm just saying. I'll have to pull this one out. It's okay. It's an 800 yen brush anyway. But they never cleaned it, and Asian inks are made out of pine sap.
Glue, and glue is in it, and you call it glue.
So these things, they basically plasticize. I mean, they almost dry like acrylic paint.
You're off camera here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
There you go. They almost plasticize and dry almost like acrylic paint. So there's no bringing this one back from the dead. I don't think. Not if I was to maintain the bristles as well.
People in the chat are saying, be careful, Jed. Some of these brushes could be haunted.
Crap.
The long dead calligrapher. When Jed puts it in and starts to draw, the hand of the long dead calligrapher will come.
Wouldn't it be a pleasant surprise if my haunted brushes just started making great art for me?
Now maybe there's one of this year's gags in there. I don't know.
Kuniyoshi's ghost.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of those brushes are still remaining.
But anyway, I had a problem. I got these ready for Jed, but I remember he still had asked about that company, Kyodo. And although these brushes seem kind of nice, so I searched again. Oh, who's this? Oh, it's getting to be that time of day. Okay, anyway. So when I searched around a bit more.
And?
Under the bench here.
Where?
Under, in here.
Oh, okay. This is all staged. Hi, Cameron.
Hi.
What the what?
Keep your language. Keep your family friendly. Keep your language.
I said what the what? Oh, are these all Kyoto?
No, but this is the mother lode. This is that level of stuff.
I've never even seen a brush like this. I don't know what this is.
That's the cap. That's a protector cap. That's nothing. That's on a...
Okay.
It's a protector cap. So.
I'm going to have to learn how to use this.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I've never seen a brush. Well, I mean, I've seen brushes like this. I never know what to do with them. They're the ones that are really fat, but they still go to an excellent taper. I like them because I am able to go thin to thick very quickly with them.
Yeah. But it's also the control is very, very difficult because you're
if they're fat though, they are nice because it's those really long thin ones that you're like whoa, and it's almost like trying to control a whip or a tentacle. But these fat thin ones are really it's like how do I explain it? It's like driving a short little sports car versus a long sedan. Does that make sense? Like it's got a tighter turning radius. It feels different. Sorry to put it in car terms. America. Cool.
And these are very high quality, very well taken care of. This was maybe a professional calligrapher's.
This is no joke.
Brushes. This is not.
I am set for
life.
life.
Very, very small ones here. That you can see from the outside.
Right. Yeah. Look. So here.
Very small. What have I done?
A long time ago, you guys, I kind of turned my nose up on these brushes right here because I thought, I've got some really good brushes that come to very fine points, and I don't need these tiny little brushes. But this little guy...
Bit more to your right, bit more to your right, bit more to your right. Stop! Yep, there you go.
This little guy is actually quite useful. And for doing hands and faces and hair, eyes, details. And he's a little bit hurt, but I could cut off the bristles that aren't working. Dave, I owe you.
Designs.
I'll pay you in kind. With designs. What is in this one?
Just boxes.
That's great. I don't think this has ever been used. And what's funny, this is funny. This artist has the same problem that I have. I get really excited. I go buy a bunch of really top of the line brushes. $300 later, I got all these great brushes, and I just use one over and over. So I have all these unused brushes sitting around my house. But Dave, the way that I use brushes,
they're so perfect.
Right.
I'm not a calligrapher, but my God, I can recognize some good.
This is my jam right here. This kind right here. I like these ones a lot. Oh, this one's ruined, but there will be other good ones in there. These little fat ones that taper in, I like
fast taper, So. So it should be enough to keep you busy for a day or two. I think.
Set me up. This is a setup if I ever heard one. Thank you, sir.
No problem. We have access to it. You don't. We should have done this years ago. I just never thought about it.
I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna pick out my top maybe 50 I brought my. It's gonna have to be reduced down to 50. I brought my brush carrier. Actually, it's up in my backpack. So I have a bamboo brush preserver.
So you can do it, part of it you can filter while you're here through the junk, or you can take it all back and just pass it to people over there who don't have access to it. It's up to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem, sir.
Hugs.
I'm sorry I didn't do this earlier. No, so.
Yeah.
It's all. It's totally perfectly selfish. I need good designs. The guy needs good tools.
Well, now you're gonna be like, Jed, the line work. I gave you those brushes. Come on. You have no excuse. I'm demonizing Dave here. This is not actually his tone.
I think we're getting some jokes and gags there, whatever.
I'm demonizing him. He's a sweet man. Wow. Okay, cool. This is awesome. This is full on.
And that's it. There's no more.
Okay. This is a life's worth of brushes. Like, I really don't think I could work at least a decade.
Whatever, I don't know. They're here. Like I said, Yahoo Auctions actually, if you on any given day, stuff like this comes up.
This one is the mother load.
So
you can tell these are all extremely high quality. Some of here are like middling quality, lower quality. Yeah. This one is the mother load. This person had a budget or a lot of time to accumulate brushes. I always wonder, like, what did brushes look like 200 years ago, 300 years ago, 400 years ago?
I think they're the same. It's that bamboo.
It's same.
Sure, I think so. These go way back, I think. I'm not an expert at all, but this calligraphy thing from China, then Japan. This goes back thousands of years.
It's no different.
Maybe some of these new ones are nylon. What are these? These are pig for the most part?
Pig is too... I don't know. I doubt they're pig. I think
these pig must be sheep or something. I don't know.
I think it might be horse. This one feels like horse. This one feels like... I don't know. Sorry, animals. Sorry, PETA. The best brushes are made out of animal parts. Cool. This is great. Cool. Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you very much. Sorry to put you in an embarrassing situation.
Yeah, it's all good.
If you've asked about it, so...
I guess I'll go take them upstairs.
All right, let's wrap this thing up here. End of our time. We got a busy day in the shop waiting for us. This print party is lined up. Jed's plan, and we talked about it, he was thinking about going up to Nagano for hiking and sketching. Unfortunately, the weather may not be cooperating, so he's still in thinking about what to do.
Japan's being hit by a tropical storm right now, right?
The whole place. So everywhere you were thinking about going, and
so it's funny. I was looking at the weather on my phone, and Nagano, rain every day for the next week. Tokyo, rain every day for the next week. So I was like, okay, what if I look all the way up at Hokkaido? Because I got the JR pass where you can just jump on a train. I can just jump on a train and go anywhere right now for free for 8 days, right? Or 7 days. So I was like, okay, what if I just went to Hokkaido? Whatever.
To get away from the rain, you mean?
I look at Sapporo, rain every day. South to north, rain every day, whole country.
The disappointing thing is he picked the best time of year. If you were going to predict a year in advance when to go to Japan for the best season and the least rain and the nicest, it's the end of October, So you did the right thing. It's okay. The modern climate, I don't know, no idea.
I just think it's luck. Rain has romance, and Japan is a subtropical country with a lot of precipitation. What are you going to do?
What are you going to do? No, so anyway, Jed might be around here more this next week than he had planned on being. No idea.
I think I'm still going to brave it.
Your flight is for 1 week from now, though, right? You're going back next Wednesday.
Yeah. So I got to get something done. I got to go.
Anyway, thanks very much for getting up early and taking the time to do this with our gang here.
I got up at 2 a.m. actually because I'm jet lagged.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So it's no big deal to get up early.
It's not. Okay. I actually slept in.
Okay. Sorry about that. We haven't, as you can see, we haven't been actually following the chat here. We'll have a look at it later and see, and maybe if there's questions to be answered privately. No idea if it will come up.
Sure.
No idea, whatever. So. And tonight, there will be no stream tonight. I'll be very busy in the shop. Tomorrow, I'll be back here doing my same old thing of carving this New Year's card design. And that should be my streams now for the next week or so, every morning as normal. Jed may drop in later after he gets back from Nagano. I don't know. Not counting on it.
No, I will. I plan on it, actually. Sorry.
So say goodbye to the guy. Say thank you very much for watching in today.
Hi, guys. I'll be back. I'll be streaming. I'll be back in about a week.
Oh, you mean back in America? You mean?
Back here.
Oh, back here.
I'll be back here.
After you're coming back from Nagano, you mean?
Mm-hmm. I'm only in Nagano for 3 days.
Stay tuned. Maybe next Monday or Tuesday or something.
More presents. I demand presents.
Wait.
I want more presents.
Did Cameron post those in there?
He's in here, yeah.
He's in here, so. Cameron, come and say hello to the stream. Is he gone? Is he accessible?
I just didn't want to ruin it.
No, I know. It was the other way around. The other day you poked your nose in, but didn't actually say hello to everybody, and then I guess people.
Well, you all were chatting.
Whatever.
I didn't want to turn off the light again or cut your stream by streaming
the guy
on the other
disappeared
side.
without even saying hello. You know, so whatever.
Okay. Hello. Good morning, everyone, or wherever you are in the world.
Here we are. Now we are really going over now because we have a ton of things to do today here. So thanks very much for coming in this morning. See you next time tomorrow morning. Okay. Good night. Thank you.
Hi.
This is the first time we've met in person, right?
It's true. How are you?
They don't realize that there's a hot mic still on, so I'd better get rid of this before they say something. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.